Oh!
Hello.
You can't believe it, but we are back. Finally, we're back.
Everyone's favorite semi-yearly podcast.
That's right. Once a quarter, maybe. I'm not actually sure. We are back. This is double feature, and we needed a kick in the ass to get us back in the fold. And
we needed a death.
We needed a death of a.
And not even fucking Robert Duvall died, and we just kept being like, we're gonna do a double feature of Duvall. Duvall double feature. That didn't happen. Sam Neill died though.
Yeah.
So
R.I.P. Sam Neill. So we found the connective tissue from the last episode, and we got to a Sam Neill double feature. It's what you wanted. So whether you are a paleontologist who's trying to put it in Laura Dern's pail, or you are a Navy man who's just trying to set sail after your son is yeeted from the front windshield of a car, we got what you need. This is double feature. What's up, dude?
Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've seen Jurassic Park in a long time.
Really?
I think all the way through. There's plenty of times where I'll get fired up and be like, I want to watch Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And then one of two things happens. The first one is this happens with basically anything I ever want to watch. It's like, where is it streaming? Oh, it's not. Like Jurassic Park isn't streaming anywhere.
Which is
crazy.
It's not just crazy. Like, it should be criminal. If you have a movie on VHS, which I couldn't find, which feels criminal on my own, and I'll have to answer for those sins one day.
One day.
But if you grew up and you had that movie on VHS, Steven Spielberg and the studio, they made enough money off of Jurassic Park. That's for the people. I'm not trying to get communist propaganda on Jurassic Park, but it just feels like it should be allowed if you watched that while your parents were at work.
Yeah, it's crazy.
By yourself, like you should be able to see that movie. It's for the people.
Yeah, so it's like number one, it's not streaming, or number two, I'll watch like 20 minutes of it and then be like, maybe I don't want to watch Jurassic Park. And so getting back to it again, I love Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is a good movie.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
Hot take. Brave.
Yeah, it's just like it's hard to find anything like things that I thought that were fun going back through it is like old boy that plays the Colonel Sanders,
Richard Attenborough.
Yeah,
Dick.
He's like so. I think it's funny that he's so convinced that everybody's gonna be on his side, despite the fact that all he wants to do is make money. So it's like it's funny to me that he's like sitting at the table and he's like, oh, only the blood-sucking attorney agrees with me. It's like, yeah, man, this is your whole pitch. Your whole pitch is like, we're gonna bring the dinosaurs back to life and then make money. It's not like, oh, we're gonna do something cool. I brought all these scientists here to show them how we're gonna observe this island from 10,000 feet and see what the dinosaurs do. No.
I mean, I
want them to sign off on my Universal style ride. So I brought 3 scientists and a lawyer.
I think he actually he's an interesting case because I think he's a classic case of says one thing but does understand. Because for all intents and purposes, he does keep being like, this should be for everyone. Like, everybody should be able to do this. And then the lawyer will say some bullshit.
Well, he says we'll do coupon
Well,
day.
The lawyer says that.
Yeah, and then he goes, right.
And
as if he's like, yeah, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, but he shapes his backstory as I came over here from Ireland and did a flea circus and meager beginnings and now I'm a billionaire, but I want to do something interesting for maybe legacy or something interesting for people to come see and it's just this thing where you see people and they're like, I'm doing an amazing thing, and you're like, yeah, but it doesn't make any sense to pretend it's not.
It's just for you.
Attraction, like an amusement park.
Yeah.
It's for your legacy.
It's kind of one of those things, too, where it's inevitably, he's like, oh, I come from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
And oh, blah. But it's like, nah, dude, you're a rich guy. And instead of thinking about this like a smart person would think about this, you thought about this the way a rich person would think about this. Which is like, how do I make more money?
It's pure hubris, pure id. And it is fun. If you're being nitpicky about the movie, it really is it's just how sort of obvious everyone is. They don't even take that long for the lawyer guy to like switch because he's the one that's most nervous on
Yeah,
the like
right.
helicopter ride or what? Not the helicopter ride,
Yeah.
whatever. The first
The
like
flight
little
in or
conversation,
whatever.
and he's Mr. Nervous Nelly, and then it is like 2 hours later. He's like, "We're gonna make so much money, it's crazy," and it's like. You're the lawyer.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you're on retainer, but does it go up?
That's right. Jeff Goldblum turns to him at one point, and he's like, "Do you remember when we were talking in the helicopter about how bad it is, or how bad this could
Yeah,
be?"
it's
and
worse.
and the lawyer's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "It's worse." And he's like,
Right.
"What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We're gonna make so much money."
Because he's blinded by this, which is so fun. I mean, that's kind of the thing. It's like the movie is archetypes that are easy for adults and kids to understand, I guess, is maybe what's going for.
Yeah.
And I've actually, to be fully honest, I've never read the Mike Crichton.
Michael Crichton book.
Novel.
I have it. I don't think
Yeah.
I ever read it though.
I think I have it somewhere. So I'd be interested in
R.I.P.
maybe.
Michael Crichton.
R.I.P.
He died.
That's right. Doctor. I'd be interested to go back and see if it's like, did Spielberg totally Spielberg this? Because obviously
I think that's the
consensus.
the book is way more oriented towards adults.
Well, and Crichton is famously was a doctor of something. I forgot now, but
He was a doctor of dinosaurs.
Dino Doc, which are of course made up.
Yeah, of course. Listen, I think it's criminal that the lawyer dies, but the old man doesn't. Because I think the true villain in this film is the old man.
Well, I think
He
that-
brings his grandkids to
That
the
is
island,
crazy, for
just
sure.
like for the first, like give it. Wait till the second or third
That
time.
is crazy. But the lawyer's here's the maybe in like mythology
lawyer's an
speak.
enabler.
The lawyer is a martyr. He actually gets the easy death, whereas Grandpa has to spend the rest of like 10 years or whatever he's got left thinking about how he almost killed his grandkids. His
But you never
daughter is
get
like,
that.
"Fuck you."
You never
I
get
think
that.
you get some
All at the
bullshit.
end. At the end of the
and
movie,
free.
there's the great part at the end of the movie where Sam Neill is like covered in blood and he's running out to the Jeep and he jumps in and he goes, "You know what? I don't think I will invest in your island."
He's like, after careful consideration, I've decided not to endorse your park or whatever. Yeah.
And he goes, "It's over." That's all
No, he said.
No, he says it's over.
I
That's
think
what
I thought he said either have I or so have I or
no,
something.
he says it's over. That's what he says.
I don't think
It's
so.
over. Look it up. I like wrote it down. It was like one of the things I thought was interesting that he says it's over. He says something definitive like that. Like it's over.
It's over.
It's done.
It's so funny when a movie has like
Yeah.
"it's over" in it.
I'm pretty sure that is the last words that he said. I mean, he might say something
I'm
on the
pretty sure
helicopter.
he says "so have I."
No, he says it's over.
Okay.
Let's find out in real time on the podcast. You look it up. I'll keep running down
Keep
my
on
list
riffing.
of things. I really like the cars, and you made fun of me for that when we were watching it last night. But there's
Just keep calling Jeeps cars is funny. It's gonna
well,
piss
you know what
the
I
Jeep
mean.
people
They're
off.
not real cars. They're like, are they Jeeps? I think they might be Ford Focuses.
Excuse me?
Are they Jeeps for real? Like I know that they have Wranglers on the island, but I'm talking about the ride cars.
Well, they're definitely not Ford Focuses.
I think they. I mean, I don't have my phone, so again, to keep making these assertions that I feel comfortable about, and then you're like, no.
A Ford Focus is a car.
Sorry, Explorers. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, I think they might be. What are they? They're not Wranglers. They're Explorers.
What?
I think the painted cars that are on the tracks are Ford Explorers,
How many
and then
things
the
do I gotta
red.
look up?
We'll start with what he says at the end.
Yeah.
You're the one who's just pushing back. I'm
Because
fairly
you're
confident.
wrong, but
They could
This
be,
is
I guess,
so specific.
Grand Cherokees, but they're way too nice to be Wranglers. They're not Wranglers.
2 o'clock.
Is it really? I thought it was like 7. I guess that makes sense. All right, well, I'll move on from that one since you have a problem with that one as well. I think it's hilarious that Newman just complains about money in front of his boss. Like, he's just openly like, I don't get paid enough to do this shit,
Here we go.
which is hilarious.
I got it.
Game-changing.
Oh, my God.
Cut
This
this
guy's
out,
got
dude.
ass.
This guy. I got
This guy's got ass.
After careful consideration, I've decided not to endorse your park.
Oh, no, we'll never know.
Got his part out.
We'll never know. That's the only part we want to see.
know. I need him.
Oh, my God. I don't have my phone.
Hold on. This one's longer. Oh, this is like a regular screen recording.
Somebody was just like, let's put this out for posterity's sake.
What?
There's no sound on it. See if you can see what his mouth
It
says.
says so have I.
Is that what he says? I'm pretty sure he said it's over.
Why
Like as
does it?
if to imply that the
movie
entire
is
thing, no, his entire experiment is over. That there's no reason to keep talking about it. It's over.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's supposed to be quippy and fun. But I can't find one that has the thing on it.
Just Google.
Put it in the comments. We'll figure it out.
I could have already found it. This is crazy. You could pull it up on the script. You could. There's 1,000 ways you could find. You're the worst Googler on the face.
Yeah,
of the
well, I'm
planet.
not a Googler. I'm a talker, which is why this podcast is suffering. Googler.
Well, then we should have used your phone.
I can't. My phone's broken. All right. I will say that while I look this up, I'm sure this has been talked about a lot. And Malcolm, Dr. Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum's character, is maybe one of the funniest, unintentionally funniest movie characters in movie history.
Yeah.
This is like a straight down the middle. It works for kids. It works for adults. PG-13, tentpole, summer blockbuster, 93. And you have like the absolute voice of reason in this thing. Before anybody else. Before Sam Neill's character. Before Laura Dern's character. Before the kids. The whole time he's like, you're trifling with powers you do not understand and that you have no business doing, and you have no humility in front of. And the rest of his thing is being like a sex icon.
Yeah.
He's like,
and kind of doing dumb stuff.
oh yeah.
He's like, he doesn't do anything rational. Like, Sam Neill throws the flare, and the dinosaur is going. So the dinosaur is like going off into the woods to chase the flare, and then he lights another flare.
Hey. So I read that, funny enough, that was Jeff Goldblum's idea.
Oh, that's hilarious.
To have a dumb guy hero moment where like there's, for some reason, I think this is sort of right after they have the conversation about how Sam Neill and Laura Dern's characters have a thing.
Yeah, he asked him in the car.
He's hitting on them the whole time.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe Jeff Goldblum's like idea is that he's sort of jealous of Dr. Grant. And,
Right.
and has decided that he will also be a hero.
Yes.
At the stupidest
He's like,
time of
now
all
is
time.
my time.
Yeah.
All right, look, we can't get to the bottom of the other one. Figure out if those were Ford Explorers.
Cars in Jurassic Park.
Because I think that they are.
I love how much this matters.
Well, you pushed back. You said they weren't.
I know. That's because I don't think they are.
I mean, maybe they're not. I'd like to know what they are.
Jesus, you are right.
I'm right. I know.
At least
I'm right.
according
that's
to
a fucking
fucking
Ford. That's a
AI.
Ford Expedition, baby girl. I've seen them.
92 Explorer XLT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explorer. Sorry, not an Expedition. Expedition is
You
a
were
long
right,
one.
and then insisted on being wrong.
I'm just high. I don't remember my words very well. But I have been inside of a mid-'90s Ford Explorer, and I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? That does kind of resemble the Eddie Bauer
Right.
Explorer that my boy Mike had.
Yeah, I assume I was just conflating them with the
Well, there is a
gas
Jeep.
Jeeps.
There is a Jeep.
All
yeah,
the
yeah.
gas
There's
cars are
red
Jeeps.
Wranglers in the movie. That's what Newman crashes.
Yeah.
Is those red?
And then I think the like doctor that's fixing the Triceratops and the coolest guy
Yeah,
in the movie
that guy's
is
the
the
coolest guy.
fucking big game hunter guy
Yeah.
who's now the Velociraptor guy.
He looks like he should have played the bad guy in Tarzan.
That would be sick.
You know what I mean? He has like that look.
Yes. Well,
Is
he has the look and the swagger of a guy that in the 70s George C. Scott would have played. Right. He's basically is the poacher
Right.
from
Yeah.
Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah.
Joanna. But he's much more this like lower key like
Yeah.
nature's balance.
They kind of paint him as a bad guy in the movie too, which I don't like because he seemed. I mean, not paint him as a bad guy, but he kind of has this like weird, like edge to him. Like he's working with them, you know, with the park. I'm like that guy's the best guy, dude. Let that guy be the hero.
He's the man. Well, and that's the funny thing is that I assume again what they're trying
he
to
gets
sort of
munched.
He does get munched. Clever girl. I assume what they're trying to do with Goldblum's character, and again, it'd be interesting to see the novel and see how much more complex. But I imagine because Michael Crichton is who he is, there's a bunch of hard science in the movie,
Yeah, right.
in the novel that I'd be like, all right, cool, man.
How we get there?
But those guys are
DNA.
the biggest voices of reason, and then Laura Dern and Dr. Grant. I just interchangeably.
Dr.
It doesn't matter.
Grant.
Sam Neill. They're sort of like willing to be convinced, but are skeptical. But yeah, the Hunter guy, I think he has like a Wrangler Jeep, but I don't, because I think the Jeep that famously the T-Rex is chasing, while Jeff Goldblum's all banged up in the back and he's like leaning on the stick or whatever. So I think to differentiate him and make sure everybody knows how cool
That's right.
he
That's
is and
right.
how many guns
That's right.
he has to have
I also like how
cool
with all of these complex characters, or not really, with all of these distillations of characters that you get,
Distillations,
like
yeah.
where they're very, like kind of the end hero in this movie, T-Rex.
Yeah, it changes. The heroics change hands a handful of times.
Yeah.
And so you get, like, everybody sort of gets
Everybody
a
gets a
turn.
moment.
Everybody gets a moment, you know, even if it's little ones, like little Timmy gets one.
Yeah.
Dr. Grant has a couple, and even if his are dumb, Dr. Malcolm has a couple.
Does the girl get one? Does our girl get one?
Yeah, so
Pogo stick girl?
she. Oh yeah, we should talk about she. We just like looked for connective tissue from the last one so that we could get to a Sam Neill double feature in his honor, and we're like racking our brain and already had started Jurassic Park. We'll find something.
Yeah, we
it
were
doesn't
like
matter if
40
it's like-
minutes into
it's
Jurassic Park.
like a special effects guy who just happened to get sick and they replaced him with a Tremors guy
Yeah.
or whatever. Like anything we
We
could
just
do.
kept looking at Year of the Dragon. We were like, surely
It's
there's
gotta
an
be.
Asian in Jurassic Park.
And then the whole time we were already watching it, I just kept thinking like, and totally unrelated to trying to find the connective tissue in a totally different like road, I just kept looking at Lex, who's played by Ariana Richards, and being like, I wonder if that's the girl who's Cindy
Yeah,
in Tremors.
pogo stick girl.
And then we were looking for it, and I did some search and was like, oh yeah, that's her. Oh yeah, I knew that was her.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
just didn't say anything.
We just didn't put it together.
But she gets to be the hacker, so she like without her they
that's
all
right,
probably
that's
do
right,
die.
that's
She
right.
turns the door locks back on and all that
That's
shit.
right, That's right.
I mean
Yeah.
Newman doesn't get one.
Well,
Obviously he's
he-
a shithead
he
the whole time.
sucks.
Samuel Jackson gets one.
Oh, yeah.
But he doesn't really fix anything except for restart.
Yeah,
He just gets it munched.
it's a good movie. Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. You heard it here.
It's a pretty good
first.
movie. Here's okay. Those are all the things I like about Jurassic
Yeah.
Park. Let me tell you some of the things I don't like about Jurassic
Sure.
Park. And I do like Jeff Goldblum. I'm going to start with Jeff Goldblum.
Ooh.
I just like, maybe it's a me thing, and I like Jeff Goldblum, but there's something about his character in this movie that just feels like you couldn't have like just dialed it into something like that feels normal, or like not like Jeff Goldblum normal. I don't know. There's something about the way that he is that never really feels sincere to the character that you're introduced to at the beginning of the film for like the first like 15 minutes. He like progressively shapeshifts all throughout the movie, and I mean, like you said, he kind of wanted to have that hero moment, I guess, or whatever, and that's
Right.
from Goldblum. I like his character, but like watching it again, I was like, he's kind of like all over the place as a character,
Sure.
and it doesn't feel. I wonder if like the character was written a certain kind of way, and then Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum went outside of that a lot, and he's a pretty big actor at that
Yeah.
point in 95 or whatever.
93.
93.
Yeah, I mean, I like just for funsies, I guess, just to like try to defend the choices that he's making or what he's doing. I think you are probably dealing with. Obviously, when this movie came out, we were like 2 and 3.
I was a young man.
We were young whippersnappers. But the 90s was the early 90s was apparently the first.
I think this came out in 1995 as well.
I thought 95 400 times.
Wow.
Like
It's
every
93?
time somebody would ask me, I
That's
thought so. And I
crazy.
keep looking, unless IMDb is wrong.
Or unless that 5 you wrote there or that 3 you wrote there is a 5.
No. It's,
Damn.
I'll look.
No, I believe you.
But,
I mean, I'm not the.
But I think this is like the end of the 80s and the into the early 90s is when you start getting, and there was some of this probably in the 70s, but is where you start getting people who are like rock star intellectual authors who are into stuff. So they're like professors with tenure, and they like dress like, like 80s rock star alternative guys, and they're all up in the Pacific Northwest or fucking or whatever. So I think he's trying to be that guy while also bumping up against realizing that he's, you know, married. He has all his little quips of being like, married sometimes, I got 3 kids, I love kids, whatever. I think he's bumping
I'm
up
always looking for the next Mrs.
X Malcolm or whatever he says.
Malcolm or whatever.
Malcolm X.
I'm always looking for the next Malcolm X.
Oh, Goldblum, that's very hip of you.
Yeah.
But he's like, so I think he's saying all of his normal sort of armor shit and coming up against a guy who's maybe, at least in his perception, who has his own bullshit and like seems to be wrestling with having kids or whatever. But I think it seems Dr. Malcolm, and again, this is maybe why it'd be interesting to read the book, is he's wrestling with being a style over substance guy, where he just has he's figured out this chaos theory thing and become sort of the rock star face of the franchise for this hip new theory, and is just like
Yeah, sure.
and then in shucking and jiving. And then he comes up against it and does something stupid because he wants to be the hero, or
sure.
his life means something.
It's
or
not
whatever.
that he's a bad character. I enjoy.
It's an
enjoy his
interesting character.
It's just he just doesn't seem to fit. But then my only other critique, and this is a big one.
Well, wait, before we move
sorry.
on, just for fun, do you have somebody you'd replace
him
Goldblum with?
Oh, that's a great. I mean, in that time frame,
Right.
Man, I don't even know, dude. There's a bunch that would be funny.
Yeah, that's kind
Billy
of
Bob
like,
Thornton.
Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey
He's
would be
he's trying to be
funny.
sexy.
Yeah. 93. That
Charlie
could have been. Yeah, Charlie Sheen would have been funny.
Mickey Rourke to go
Mickey
back to.
Rourke would have been
a guy that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like you could have done anybody. I mean, the reality is that character is like Han Solo-esque,
Right.
and then he winds up really being like weird Han Solo because Jeff Goldblum is Jazz Handsy and the weird guy.
He's like a guy who runs an art. What do you call it?
Maybe that's
And jazzy.
Yes, maybe that's what it is. Is it's like there's so much Goldblum coming through
Right.
that it's like I can't believe that this guy is anything other than like a weird guy.
He's like a beat poet.
Yeah.
You know, like a slam poetry.
So maybe it just reframed that character,
Right.
Like as
but
an
that's again like 90s, even like 90s Greenwich Village. He could be from obviously Seattle or whatever. So you're getting this sort of like grunge spoken
Kurt
word.
Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell would have been too cool.
I wrote down
because then Laura Dern just fucks him.
Yeah, that's true.
Then Sam Neill, all due respect, just finds.
I've got a little Kurt Russell for the next one, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not that it's bad. I just think that watching it for all the way through.
Yeah.
He's a 35-year-old man, 34, soon to be 35-year-old man. I was a little bit like, damn, Goldblum is really cheesy. His character comes across as like a guy who's trying.
It's a try.
Really
Yeah.
hard.
It's a try hard thing, and
It's not cool. It doesn't come across as cool as it did when I was 12. You know, he
which
was
is
like
good.
eccentric
That
and
shows-
cool or whatever.
that shows growth.
So
But I think, I don't know. That does kind of make it an interesting look because, you know, if you're too cool, if it's just fucking Clint Eastwood, Johnny Depp's too young probably at this point.
Yeah, he would have been a
He would have been like 22.
Yeah.
which would have been.
But that's
crazy.
kind of that's another thing too. Is he goes on about like Sam Neill's character is actually cool. Sam Neill's character is the one who's like he's grounded.
Yep.
Even like the way he handles the kids and like his sort of like progression from being like I don't want kids to being like well these kids are cool and like I've enjoyed getting to know these kids over the past
That's the
24 hours.
That's
which
the
is-
best arc.
Yeah, which is what I'm going to get into about what my main, if I had a gripe with this movie, which I don't, but if I did, it would be that the whole linchpin of the movie and the subsequent time frame after the movie they don't make a ton of sense. Like, why would Newman wait until there are going to be all of these visitors at the park
Right.
to do this? Like, why didn't he do it before there were visitors at the park? It would have made way more sense to shut down the things when there are not people there. Like, the time frames, like, this all happens like immediately. They get there, and then right as they essentially get there,
Right.
Newman's like, "Now's the perfect time to execute my plan," and then sort of linchpins the whole thing, and then the whole movie's over by the morning, 2 days later or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, a couple days. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I guess there's tons of movies where you have to, like,
Sure.
you have to take a
You have
big.
to suspend your
Well,
belief.
and not even that. Yeah, like every movie, especially where there's a lot of clashing things that need to happen, you almost do need the miracle of the Big Bang for its inception. So like it becomes pretty clear that the boat's schedule is a big deal, right? So the boat only comes so often until the park will be open, and then I'm sure it'll have a more regular schedule. And obviously the helicopter isn't for everyone,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's just for Hammond and his guests. And,
Spielberg does his work to make sure that
Yeah.
those plot holes have a little bit of cement and
obviously the Johnson scene, which is one of the most fun scenes, where Newman's just like, "Who gives a fuck? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?"
right.
And they're supposed to be in Costa Rica, right? I think they filmed just about everything in Hawaii.
yeah, they're supposed to be. I looked it up, 100 miles off the coast of Costa Rica, and there is a subset of small islands out
Yeah.
that way. So
So we should check them out.
yeah, we should get out there see if there's any
Yeah.
dinos.
But obviously, he needs the little shaving cream thing from Johnson
right,
or Dotson or whatever. his name is.
right.
He needs that. He probably just went to Richard Attenborough. We have a T-Rex about needing more money.
Yeah.
Which I do wish a little bit they would have gotten into why he's so shitty
Yeah,
with money.
pressed.
Like,
Why is he so pressed? He lives on this island.
like, is
and
he a
gets paid.
gambling addict or he's
Yeah.
like a whatever? Yeah, because it seems like all your meals are taken. I do like,
And
by
he's
the
like
way-
he's actively. That's what I said. He's actively complaining to the boss.
right, which I think is
About money.
supposed to be indicative of him being like, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to say what I think or whatever.
And this is another thing that, again, if you're David Attenborough,
Richard.
I know, but if you're David Attenborough, you've got just pay this. I mean, how are you not pay? I mean, again, this is why he's the villain, because it's like he's a billionaire. Apparently, he's paying Newman and Samuel L. Jackson minimum wage.
And a small fortune to Dr. Wu and
Yeah, right,
Elvis,
right,
the
right.
team of scientists.
Yeah, it just
Which is fine.
Doesn't make a ton
yes,
of sense.
Of course, are they the ones playing God in God's little toy factory?
Sure.
Yeah, man. That's great. You know what's really important? That all those big
Yeah.
electric fences
That those stay on.
and do their thing.
Second of all, you're going through the interview process.
You big and new.
You pick Newman to be your guy.
Especially once you figure out that at least somewhere in the world there's a little girl who you are related to who is almost just as good of a hacker.
Right. So again,
He can't be the best.
this is right. So
Spare no expense except for
Except
we
for-
got the mailman from Seinfeld to do security.
to do
for
all the
phone.
things that are the most important.
Right.
Samuel L. Jackson, he's rock solid. My Raptor guy, he's rock solid.
Incredible.
I'm rock solid. My Asian scientist is rock solid. We hired a 375-pound fat guy who screams and complains about how little money he makes
Or about how he
directly
just
to me.
Needs more. And
Yeah.
that's what he says to Dotson. He's like, don't get cheap on me, Dotson.
Yeah.
That was Hammond's problem or whatever. And it's like, I just want to see in a deleted scene that conversation where they're in his office
And he's like, I'm just putting it all down
how
on
much-
the wrong thing.
how
I'm
much-
losing all my money.
money can I squeeze? Yeah, I just don't. Like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about they pay him $200,000 a year, but he wants $1
It's
million
greedy.
dollars? Like, I don't know. Because obviously, whatever this competitor company is going to pay out the fucking ass for this shaving cream can full of embryos.
Yeah.
or
Well, it's just
whatever.
like if you were again. It's not even about like.
But you don't need
it
the
all
disgruntled
sets up
worker.
just fine.
Yeah.
And Spielberg does a great job
Right.
of
It's neat.
schmootzing it over, but just conceptually, you're building a business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that business is predicated around not only the safety of the people inside the park, but on keeping your secrets.
Yeah.
And you hired Newman.
Right.
You hired
There
that
wasn't
guy.
a psych evaluation,
Yeah,
a
I'm
part
sure.
of your thing with like $1
Does this
million
guy even have a college degree?
Yeah, I don't know. But that again, that's the '90s is the first time where you do get the sort of movie glorification of the hacker too, which is an interesting
Yeah, he's
part
just
of
a
the
hotshot
zeitgeist.
hacker.
He's just a hotshot hacker who broke into the government, and then you paid
Yeah,
his
but
legal fees.
you're-
But again, that's a fun backstory.
Exactly.
We get
Give him-
nothing except for this
give him-
guy's fat.
Give him
and-
something. He's a fat fucking slob, and he doesn't make sense compared to
Even
the
Sam L.
seriousness of everyone, all the other.
But it
characters.
is fun comic relief
It's great
for sure.
He's so great. He's maybe the best part of it.
You didn't say the magic word. Please.
Yeah, I say all that to say, Newman he's so great. How awkward he is when he's trying to explain to them that I'm just gonna. You guys want anything from the vending machines? Just think about running up to the vending machines.
Even the vending machine, the fact that he's got to get his snacks from the vending machine instead of some sort of like worker
catered
break room or
service.
whatever. It's like you guys are in here eating Chilean sea bass, and the fat fucker.
That's what I'm saying. This is like, it's poor. It's just not a great business model.
Well, I think it's like to maybe supposed to illustrate the poor conditions that like the people making it happen versus the fucking whatever.
Yeah, but again, David Attenborough is building a business.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so maybe it's a critique on like, even in this most important things, people will just be like, "Oh, it's a."
I think Steven
it's a guy who likes
Spielberg's probably
Snickers.
just a lazy writer, and he wanted to. I don't know. He didn't write it. The guy who wrote it, we were
Is it
like,
Michael Camino? I was trying to look.
no, but we were on about it because it's like some guy, and he wrote a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And we were like, whoa, no way.
just-
The guy who wrote Jurassic Park wrote it was some other movie that we were thinking about double
I
featuring.
think a bunch of movies, right?
Yeah, look it up. What's his
And
name?
he even like didn't he was the head writer on Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day. Yeah, he's one of Spielberg's homies.
David Cope
David
or
Cope.
Cop or
Cope.
Koepp.
Cop. Yeah, that sounds right.
But yeah, I think he wrote like fucking
He
The
wrote-
Invention of Lying.
He wrote
and
the two bad
Stir of Echoes.
Indiana Jones movies, huh?
Stir of Echoes.
Stir of Echoes. That's what it was. We were going to watch Stir of Echoes.
Yeah, because we were trying to figure out how to get where we were going to go and how we were going to get there, and obviously Kevin Bacon
Kevin Bacon's an easy
was
one.
a part of
You
that.
can get out. Fucking get
If
out.
we could just get to one Sam Neill from Kevin Bacon or whatever, yeah, it's an easy off ramp. But we figured it out. We figured it out. My other quip, or my
Go ahead.
not quip. My
We got to move on to the other one
for
too.
sure. My other nitpick while we're on it, and and then I've got one that I appreciate, and we can get moving on. And we talked about it while we were watching the movie, is the Captain America shield technology impregnable glass of the moonroof
Yeah,
of that
the moonroof.
Ford Explorer that these kids are also, when they have to be, superhero strong.
Super strong.
They just hold that T-Rex's whole head off
Makes
of them.
no sense. The T-Rex comes down on their locked arms, busts the window down directly into their locked arms.
All in
and
one
then
piece.
They just absorb it and push the T-Rex off.
Like, no.
This thing is 50,000 pounds.
Well, I saw in a deleted scene that they didn't want to keep in the movie for obvious reasons, but right before the T-Rex breaks in, both of the kids smoke PCP.
Yeah, they smoke a little PCP.
So they can't feel any pain, so they get super strength.
You said it. It doesn't even break the glass. The glass comes out of the top of the Ford. They just catch it in their hands, absorb the impact, push the T-Rex.
It's like a hydraulic.
So then they're like in this pushing match with the T-Rex.
Push of war.
Two children
Yeah.
versus the T-Rex. Yeah.
Yeah. But that does get us into one of my appreciations before we get out of here into the next movie is what a big movie this is for mud, for crud, for
God.
muck.
They're sinking in the mud in that scene.
Yeah,
And
after
you're
he
like,
flips it.
where's this? Well, they've hit a sinkhole.
Well, you're supposed to be like, oh yeah, it just started sort of monsooning Costa Rica style, and now all of this
Now
loose
everything's
dirt
mush.
that was a road is mush. It's absolute crud.
Yeah.
And the whole movie is crud after it starts raining. It's just like you have this beautiful dry tropical
and then it's just-
landscape, and then as soon as this sort of monsoon comes in, Newman's getting fucked up in the muck, and then he gets dino muck on his face.
He gets
Muck
dino
sounds-
jizzed.
Yeah, he gets muck hockey. Venomous bukkaked.
Yeah, that was they cut too after he gets Bukkake.
And it's soft-serving poop dirt. That was one of my favorite shots. It's
so
just
great.
like, you're Steven Spielberg,
You're like,
dude,
yo,
at the height of your...
Pour some poop mud down.
And what's hilarious to me is thinking about being on set and Steven Spielberg being really anal, no pun intended, about how it looks. So he's like, no, more water.
Yeah, it's gotta be super.
A little bit more.
It's gotta
He's
be
well,
like
I don't want it to
yucky.
totally fall immediately. I want it to. I don't want it to flow.
like loose concrete.
But brown.
I want it to look like diarrhea.
But the color of brown.
He made a specific diarrhea. He made it's perfect diarrhea.
That's what I'm saying. If you're out there and you catch this and you worked on the poop mud for Jurassic
hit us
Park,
up, dude. Let
I'd
us
love
know.
to talk to you.
Let us know if he was specific. Yeah, and then that's the best line in the movie is Jeff Goldblum, where he says, "That's a huge pile of shit."
That's a huge pile of shit. That is good. And then the other appreciation I was going to say is one of my favorite too is the whole sequence where Tim just has to take the Jeep ride right after the mud. So he falls from, there is a continuity thing where I'm like, I know this T-Rex is big. Don't get me wrong, but
don't get
after
it
it bites
twisted.
through the electric fence when it goes off, and he comes out, it feels like he's just stepping onto the road.
Yeah.
Then the Jeep falls off it, and it's 100 feet down, and you're like, all right.
How did this
That's cool.
dinosaur
Is there
climb up this wall?
He jumped like
or-
a fucking Mario with a double mushroom jump.
Yeah.
So that was whatever. But anyway, in the sequence where Tim falls down the tree,
Yep.
and then he's like, I think he says he shit his pants. He doesn't say that, but whatever. More muck. Whatever. Then it falls, and they're climbing down the tree fast, and it falls onto him, but not in any way that hurts him.
Because he's super strong.
He just can't. Well, it just like all the windows are busted out, and it like perfectly, cartoon or Charlie Chaplin style, the house with the window, sort of hits him like that. And then they go to climb up into that tree, Dr. Grant and the two chitlins. And he's like, I hate trees. And she's like, I don't mind them. He's like, yeah, you weren't in the last one. It's so good.
Yeah, that's good.
So
I
it was
give
fun stuff.
Jurassic Park, after this is the 175 millionth time I've seen it, I'll give Jurassic Park 7.9.
I was going to say, yeah, it's probably falling right around 8, especially if you are grading on a curve. It's the curve of, this is a movie that it won't be that long. You can show your kids.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? Like if you think your kids are as soon as you think they're ready for, like, oh, they told me about a scary dream, but they handled the scary dream. They stayed in their room. That's exactly the time you can be like, here's dinosaurs.
Watch Jurassic Park.
Because it's like, there's some complex stuff that stays fun for a while. More complex than, I don't know. We probably saw this when we were 5.
Yeah, it was 5 or 6
So
for
I got
sure.
plenty of stuff went over my head and whatever. But
I remember being scared.
I remember being on the edge of my seat and scared and all the fun stuff and laughing and like it was kind of all available. So it is a fun. There's not a ton of movies that aren't like that hot run of Pixar movies that are like, there's stuff for you and there's stuff for the kids and there's stuff for everybody and there's like,
Yeah, this isn't a kids movie.
it's not a kids movie.
I think it's just
agree.
like I think that
It's just-
back in the 90s they saw opportunities to promote PG-13 rated movies to kids for parents who were kind of like, oh, I don't mind a little swear,
Right.
I don't mind a little edge, or it'll be good for the
Yep.
kids. So that's probably the first time in my life though that Jurassic Park will fall out of the 8s.
Of the 8s?
Yeah. So 7-9. Still love Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I mean, could go a lot of ways, but I'd probably give it, right around there, 7, 8, 7, 9, something like
That's
that.
right.
I'm
That's
not super picky about it, but I will say, to get us into this next movie, goddamn, there's some choices in this movie. And if you don't know what we're talking about already, if you haven't gathered from the intro, the second movie we did, and this was under careful consideration, because obviously if you're doing a Sam Neill double feature, you can hit the ones. You can hit 2 that we've seen before. We can hit Jurassic Park and fucking.
To be clear, neither one of these movies are my favorite Sam Neill movie.
Right, sure. I mean, well, and that's In the Mouth of Madness.
In the Mouth of Madness and Event. If this were up to me,
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon and In the Mouth of Madness. That's
Possession's awesome.
That's what I like.
Yeah, there's a lot of great Sam Neill movies, but Yeah, and honestly, we could have been lazy too because we watched. We
Yeah, we
had In the
just
Mouth of
watched In the
Madness
Mouth
on
of
earlier,
Madness,
and it hasn't been that long for either of us since we watched Event Horizon. Which, yeah,
I
mean,
watch Event Horizon
all the time.
5 times a year, probably.
Yeah, at least 45 to an hour and a half of it.
Yeah,
'cause It's
exactly.
pretty
Yeah,
long.
yeah, I put the beginning on a lot.
Yeah.
It's like the beginning of Alien.
Yeah,
or,
for sure.
Or Blade Runner.
Yeah.
So you didn't like this movie?
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I really did like this movie, but the thought process, just to wrap that up, was that why not? Let's do one that's the most obvious, and then let's do one that sounds cool, but neither one of us have
Hadn't seen
seen. So this is Dead Calm from '89, and this is like before Nicole Kidman is essentially American.
This feels like an Australian.
It feels Australian.
So I don't know if this was an Australian production because she's speaking in an Australian accent, which is not something you typically see of Nicole Kidman, right? Like you said,
Except for in Australia, the movie,
except
which
for
was
in
like
Australia, or
16 years later.
occasionally when she fucks up
Right.
and you makes the Australian accent. Whatever.
Yeah.
And Sam Neill, speaking in an Australian accent. He's obviously from New Zealand, but
Close
like,
enough.
close enough. And you really don't get a lot of that from Sam Neill either, because really he's like Irish, and they're calling him to be an Irish guy a lot.
Yeah. 'Cause I think that's where he's born, but
he
his
was born
parents
in
were like
Ireland.
military
Yeah.
parents or whatever.
And Billy fucking Zane. I mean, this is 3 people.
Right. So this is pre-Titanic fame for Billy Zane. This is obviously
89.
pre.
He's like a baby in this movie.
Yeah, hair still. Obviously, this is. I'm trying to think what was Nicole Kidman right before this and right after
Days
this?
of Thunder.
Is that right after this?
Days of Thunder is like 91.
91, and this is
Or
89.
93. Yeah. I mean, this would have been. This is like.
Producer George Miller. So
Hey, okay.
at least part of it is in Australia, and I think Terry
Yeah.
Hayes is an
Yeah, okay,
Australian
that makes
guy.
sense. I also read that, like.
Philip Noyce.
Noise. This was a big. This was a big book. This is a novel.
yeah.
And apparently Orson Welles, like in the 70s,
Had tried to.
got as far as like filming the film
What the fuck?
and couldn't put it together.
That could have been very fun in
Yeah.
Orson Welles.
And they just scrapped the whole thing.
It's such a. I'm trying to think of another premise that's sort of like this. I don't think there. and
Well, this is what I did have this written down. I said this movie makes me feel like the way Breakdown makes me feel.
right, but in the water.
But in the water, and it's like sort of like Breakdown, the wife is gone. In Breakdown, there is no wife.
Right.
This movie provides you with 2 separate movies.
Right, yeah.
Which is like what is going on between the wife and the bad guy, and then the chase down,
Yeah.
sort of. Like the very slow chase
Yeah.
down. I really liked this movie.
I did too.
I was like surprised by how much I liked it. There's a couple things I don't like about it,
Of course.
but all in all, I was like, this movie rules.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked it. And a lot of why I liked it so much was because of how many refreshing things are in it, right? Like we kind of alluded to the chase down sort of, right?
Right.
You know, Sam Neill in this in this schooner that wasn't in as much disrepair as Billy Zane made it out to be.
Or, you know, Sam Neill's
He's a brilliant seaman.
Seaman in the film.
And he does
He
fix
fixes it. Yeah.
but it does seem clear that like Billy Zane probably just fucked all this shit up,
Right.
You know, and like ran them aground on purpose or whatever happened to cause this leak. But yeah, he pumps it out and gets the motor back and does all the things and starts on this hot pursuit, and then that kind of goes into disarray, and then
The boat finally does kind of go down, and then he's got to go makeshift. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of things about this movie that work, that make sense.
Yeah.
I love the cinematography is really great. I thought I wrote down that like the other boat, the boat that Billy Zane comes off of, is it's like a nightmare. The whole time you're in it, like the idea of like it almost feels like Funhousey when he's
Oh,
in there,
yeah,
you know,
sure.
at times. And Billy Zane's like written in lipstick on the TV and stuff. And there were moments where I was like, this movie is kind of like bordering on scary,
Right.
or it's like trying to get there, like to actually be a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Man, fucking, I hate Billy Zane, and I loved him in this movie.
Yeah, he was fun, and you kind of see where Billy Zane could have shined more.
Yeah.
And Billy Zane just sort of becomes. There seems to be a thing in Billy Zane where he keeps wanting to be the hot guy, and
Right.
like whatever.
He wants to be the hot guy hero. He wants to be the
Yeah,
Phantom.
he wants to be like. Yeah, I don't know, and
Or the Shadow. What was he? The Phantom? The Shadow?
I think it's the Phantom.
Phantom, yeah.
Yeah.
Shadow is
And I don't know, whatever it was, you know, obviously he's pretty damn good in Tombstone for what that character
he's
does.
like okay in everything he's in.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like a weird character actor. He's good in the Titanic.
Yeah.
I mean,
So Days of Thunder is 90.
There
Is
you go.
literally
Right
the
after.
next movie. She hits like some TV miniseries for a second and does
yeah, this is
a little cameo.
I read that this put
Her
Nicole
on the map.
Kidman and Billy Zane sort of on the map. This movie was
Wow.
a success. This was a Times top 1,000 movie.
Jesus. Well, and it honestly,
I'd never heard of this movie.
I know.
I think it was Eric.
Well,
Wasn't it Eric? I mean, shout out the dog. Eric Wilcox was like, we should watch a Dead Calm. And I was like, here's Eric again with another, what's Sam Neill, 90 in this movie? It's straight to DVD.
Yeah, it's just-
he loves to be like, we
just
should-
him being with a dog the whole
yeah.
time or something.
yeah. Well, he when Duvall died, he was like, have you ever seen this movie? And I was like, no. He's like, we should watch this. I was like, this movie came out in 2018. I was like, this is like a straight to DVD movie.
Right. This
I
is
was like,
Bobby Duvall.
I'm
Like,
probably not gonna watch. He's
has-
like 90 years old.
he's got
this movie.
note cards underneath
Yeah.
the shot.
But I hope Eric watched it and maybe
He
it was
did.
good.
So I meant to say this earlier, but when we were talking about Nicole Kidman being talking in an Australian accent, which isn't a common thing, it reminded me how young Eric is. Because even growing up, we had to like be told, "Oh yeah, Nicole Kidman's actually Australian."
Yeah,
We're
right.
like, "Oh yeah, right on." That's why every once in a while it'll come through.
Yeah.
We're just watching the movie, and he goes, "What the fuck is the accent she's doing?" I went, "She's Australian."
She's Australian, Jack.
And he was like, sort of
What?
dumbfounded by it. It was very funny.
Bro, that is like the funniest I've ever laughed
The funniest you've ever laughed.
at an unintentional moment in a film
The
is the hardest I've ever laughed. Sorry, the funniest moment, the hardest I've ever laughed.
We all died.
We all died. We were all sitting here. I only watched like 10 minutes of this movie with you guys.
Yeah.
And then I bounced last night. But the 10 minutes we watched, boy.
It does not fuck around. It's just Sam Neill getting off his like Navy boat.
Yeah, and they're like, your wife is in here.
Well,
Your
you got-
son didn't make it.
You say the first lines I think in this movie, besides like "Hey, how's it going?" and like saluting and shit, is just "Yeah, I've been told your son died on impact. Immediately, there was no pain or whatever." They're just in,
And he's just,
and then they get up and by the way, whoever did the makeup for Nicole Kidman,
she looks insane.
She looks haunted.
It's so
It is
weird.
disturbing, and she has
She
like
looks like a demon.
yeah, she has
And her feet are like locked.
they're
and
just
weird.
like rigor mortis, and she's like having a tough time, and then it's just she's having a tough time. We talk to her, we're trying to bring her out or whatever in her like state of shock or her coma or whatever the fuck she's supposed to be in, and he's just like, "It's me, John," and then she goes shoo, and it flashbacks to their
Backflashes.
black flashes. Love that movie. To their car, and it's her and the kid, and she's like, it's raining
Singing
like
the Itsy
shit.
Bitsy Spider.
Itsy Bitsy Spider. And then
The kid-
that scene, by the way, is for what it is. If you're not gonna fuck around anyway, is long.
It is.
It's just like
Yeah, she does the song, and then the song ends, and then she asks the kid to do the song,
Yeah.
and then they do the song, and then the song ends, and then the kid drops his bear, unbuckles his own seatbelt, gets out of the chair, gets down, and she's like,
what's going on?
Timmy, or whatever the hell his name is, what are you doing? Get back in the chair. And then she looks back, the headlights come right at her. Ah! And then there's a cut. where two cars slam together.
Which you think is just gonna go to black.
Yeah. Then there's another cut where I guess a doll is just like cannon. Cannon
out of
out
a
of
sugar
this
glass
car.
windshield, and then it goes back to Kidman again, and she goes, "No!"
Jimmy, no!
And then she just wakes up on the sailboat.
On the boat.
They don't. There's no scene
No
where
fuck
it's like
around.
her struggling, him
No.
being like, maybe we just go out on
No,
the
no,
water.
no.
I always find peace on the water.
Nope.
Which I appreciate. It feels like a book. This felt a lot like a novel reads, where it's just like, we don't need all this shit. We
Nah.
figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they're having a rough time. This is impossible.
He even
you
says
yeeted
it.
your son out of the
He said,
fucking
well,
windshield.
when she wakes up, he's like, Nicole Kidman says, I can smell his hair. And he goes, it's not been long enough or whatever. You know it's going to take longer for us to deal with it. He's not here. He's gone. He's gone. He's not coming back.
He's gone.
But he acknowledges, like, they told us it's going to take longer than
Right.
whatever.
But then they're just in it.
Yeah, and then it starts, and then literally the next scene is them, like, walking up to the thing, and he's like, oh, look at that boat.
There's a boat. First one I've seen in days. So
Yeah, weeks, 3 weeks, he
Yeah,
says.
3 weeks. That's right. So it lets you know they've been out there a while too. So some time has passed, and yeah, it's an interest. It seems like at every turn, this thing has a choice that would be obvious to make, even as much as like Billy Zane coming full ass on the dinghy, rowing his little dick
He rows
off,
right into it.
and just bonk into
Yep.
their boat.
Doesn't say a
Doesn't
word.
say nothing. Just finds like a hole to climb into down below. I would
Yeah.
have been like, "Yo, get the fuck off my boat, dude! You're gonna give me answers, or we're gonna fight."
Yeah.
This is not how this goes down.
This is also pre 9/11, though.
Of course. Never
you know.
forget.
And I mean, honestly.
It's even pre the first World Trade Center bombings.
Yeah, that's true.
And in Australia, they didn't probably even know about that. They didn't hear about it.
They don't make it clear where they are.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like, he says, like, this is the first boat we've seen in 3 weeks, but it does kind of imply that they are seeing boats on occasion.
Oh, sure.
So,
But I think it's supposed to for sure imply. The only specifics we get is that they live in Australia.
that's right.
They
He's in the
mention
military.
the Pacific.
Yeah.
So they're like, Billy Zane is saying when he's telling them the story
That's right.
that they're trying to sail across
Cross
the
the
Pacific,
Pacific.
and he's like, who
That's
thought? Whatever.
Right.
And then he explains, and he's like, it
That's
sounds
right.
like botulism.
Right.
And so there's that. Yeah, and then I think they may mention something about Europe, because
Yeah.
he's talking about it won't be that long. We'll get fucking coffee and what do you call it? But it's all. But I like that too, where it's a lot of like, I don't know, because it gives you the feeling of you're just floating
They're just
out
in the
there.
ocean.
They're in the motherfucking ocean. This
Yeah.
is not.
Well, that's also
shallow
that's
water.
the thing. It's like, and there's a little bit of like, I wouldn't have done that.
No.
You know.
Yes, of course.
I wouldn't have done that. I would have done it differently. But honestly, the movie plays pretty straight. The only thing I was like, what, was when she fucked him. When she fucked Billy Zane, I was like,
It is crazy.
she fucks him twice, right?
No. They're about to,
And then she
she's-
goes to grab cigarettes, and then she fucks him.
But she says, "I have to go to the bathroom."
She's
She's trying
trying
to get the gun.
get the gun.
So yeah, it's this weird
But I'm like,
thing
why'd you
where
fuck him, dude?
she sort of like agrees to it so that he doesn't hurt her, which is implied. So it's Ari for sure. But it is like this weird, tense thing, and it shows her face and like
Yeah.
her
It's-
either
it's very
pretending or
bizarre.
actually enjoying it or whatever. So it's definitely uncomfortable, but it is like the least refreshing look at like this weird
Nicole
situation.
Kidman is kind of a badass
She's great, and she's
in this movie. She plays. I mean, she's
a believable.
She's like It's very feminine.
Yep.
The way she defeats Billy Zane,
Yes.
who is obviously like a retard. Like
Right, he's cracked.
He's like crazy guy.
Yeah, he had been sort of retarded.
Yes.
and now he's cracked.
crazy
Yeah.
retarded.
Dead calm to crazy retarded.
Next level retarded.
I do like how they picked a bunch of obscure like alternative songs
Mm-hmm.
too, so they didn't have to pay a bunch of money. But he kind of buy it. He's like this art student,
Yeah.
like freak. And, yeah, it's kind of it's fun for sure. God damn. I mean, obviously, if you're listening to this or watching this, we're assuming that you've seen the movie.
You gotta
so
this is a spoiler.
this is spoilers for days. and I'd love to save it, but I don't even know how because we're on the Zane machine right now. His death is so funny too.
Yeah.
And it's such a, like, again, it's a crazy choice to make, but because I've never seen that, I was like, fuck yeah, dude, this rules. It's so funny.
Tell them about it.
Yeah,
dude.
so they, it's a classic, like, they think.
It's false ending.
False ending.
Which I never love.
Usually not a big fan. You are kind of like, nope, you got to see his body, or you got to hold the gun the whole time.
And I'm like, I know how long this movie is.
Yeah. You kind of see the bar on the thing. Every time Tubi goes to an ad break, shout out Tubi.
Shout out Tubi. I'm like, oh, this movie's got
12 minutes
14
left or whatever.
minutes left. They just killed him.
Even with fucking credits, there's fucking
exactly.
7 minutes of screen
10
time at
minutes
least.
of movie left.
So they think they got him,
Mm-hmm.
which it is funny because, in her sort of defeat of Billy Zane, after she gets him knocked out.
She poisons him or whatever, puts the pills. How does she get him?
Yeah, she sedates him.
Sedates him.
And so they have a big knockdown drag out while he's succumbing to the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and he has the gun, and he's like tripping, starting to hallucinate a little bit or whatever. And and then there's like, she gets him with the fucking harpoon gun,
Gee.
which is fun. I know, it won't stop storming in Georgia.
Lightning over here, folks.
Jurassic Park weather all fucking week. But anyway, after all of this long, like a couple times of fighting him, I think that is even, he wakes up and gets out and fights her again, and then she TCBs him, take care of business, and then just puts him on like a raft and puts him.
Honestly, we're gonna stop the episode right here just in case the power goes out. Get that saved. Then we're just gonna hit it one more time. Hey, and we're right back. That was just in case the power went out. My phone will keep rocking and rolling, but that thing will not.
I do need to throw batteries in that thing again. But so after he wakes up from the drugs, he like gets out again. They fight again. And then she just puts him out on the raft with like a long rope, and she's just like, well, he's out there, I can see him, I'm towing him, and whatever. And we get Sam Neill back. They pull in the raft, and he's gone.
He's gone.
And they assume he killed himself. I don't know.
They're just sort of like, well, he's gone.
He was stuck with a harpoon in the shoulder.
Yeah, she pooned him.
Which was a pretty fun. Again, Billy Zane playing against most of his characters type.
He's so good in this movie.
He pulls himself through the harpoon that's got him like pinned to the piece of wood in the cabin, and he just like walks forward, and like, it's so wild. So he's bleeding out, maybe potentially, but then he's shampooing her hair, and he goes to get her breakfast. And Billy Zane's got his bloody hands. He walked up the other side of the ship.
Yep.
He's shampooing her head, and she's just talking to him. And then she goes, whatever his name is, calls his name, and she touches his hand. And it's got shit all over it, blood and shit. And she goes, ah, and they freak out. And you're like, oh no, here comes another whole kerfuffle. Sam Neill walks up, sees this going on through the shadow of the sail, drops the tray of food and breakfast shit, grabs a flare, shoots it through the canopy, perfectly into Billy Zane's mouth. Then the second part of the flare goes off and blows his shit smooth out the back. And he falls into the water. And he went,
I watched it. I finished it upstairs, and I was like, yo. That's so funny. And it also was it's also cool. Because like, it implies that, like, oh yeah, if you hadn't have been able to get rid of Sam Neill, he'd have fucked you up.
The whole time.
Sam Neill would have fucked you up, bro. He is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dude. He's a military man.
Navy man.
And he just lost his son. And you raped his wife. And if he had been there at any moment in time, he would have flare gunned your fucking shit smooth off.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
It is crazy. And obviously, like, you get mad at Nicole Kidman for just not doing what he says, but it also makes sense. You're like, oh, no, I don't want to live in the situation in my mind that this guy might be dangerous and we're out at sea. Right. So I'm just gonna like sort of naively be like, everything's fine, he seems fine, he's just freaked out, he thought he was gonna die, he's gonna be fine, we're prepared people. But I mean, yeah, it is also the only reason we have such a fun and exciting movie.
Yeah.
So you're like,
Well, the couple of things I had written down that we didn't talk about is when he fucks her,
yeah,
he doesn't take her shorts off. He rips
them in
her
half.
shorts off.
Right.
And you can see that she has on underwear. And he rips her underwear off too, which I think is crazy.
That's wild.
I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's a logistics thing, really. So this is just more of a critique of the film.
This is more of a question. Is
In
this
general?
possible? What's the
I just
what's
don't
the
understand.
technique for it?
So she has on regular shorts with a button and everything.
Like jean shorts,
Jean
I
shorts
think,
or something.
right?
Yeah, they're
a
like khaki shorts.
Cotton khaki shorts, something like that.
Billy Zane, she's on top of Billy Zane. And Billy Zane's laying flat on the ground. He reaches around, puts his hands on her behind, grabs...
Like on the hip.
Like on the hip, yeah. Grabs a fistful of fabric and then just yanks the shorts clean off of her body.
Right.
And you can see in that moment that she also has on underwear. So it is to be implied that he just
got it all.
tears her shorts and underwear clean off of her body.
Right.
I mean, it's not a negative or a positive. I just thought there's other ways you could have gotten there, and it's crazy to be like, just have him fucking rip them off.
Right.
They would have had to engineer shorts.
I think they did, and it seems like they didn't tell Nicole Kidman about it, or there was no way to really prepare for it, because it seems like her reaction is just a legitimate. She goes, "Oh."
He's crazy.
It's nuts.
Or somehow the shorts that she was wearing had spots, tearaways for him to rip him, and she didn't know that he was going to do. I don't know. It just was a crazy thing.
Yeah.
And then the other
I'm going to
thing,
try it, obviously. But.
Yeah. The other thing I thought was really cool. And we kind of talked about it, but I won't talk about it for real. Is that like this does for real feel like two different movies. Where it's like this cat and mouse game with Nicole Kidman and Billy Zane, and then Sam Neill sort of like frantically trying to put the ship back together and navigate towards them and figure out where they are, getting stuck.
Almost drowns.
Yeah, almost drowns. He has to blow gives like the, he finds all the dead bodies in the boat and all the crazy stuff, and then he sets the boat on fire once it finally looks like it's going down.
So he can hopefully get
Makeshift
seen.
rafts his way fucking back to... I mean, this movie is like, Sam Neill is going
through it
hardcore to get his... I mean, just buck wild to get back to Nicole Kidman, and then when he does, just...
Thum, dum. That's the best part, too, is just like... Did he do it on purpose, or is he just trying to like throw him off? Because you don't just shoot why are you shooting it through your sail? Like, you're gonna need that, but I understand it's just a gut reaction. It's a movie, but it's like it's just a 1 in a million shot, even for an experienced Navy man, to just pull the string on a flare and take it right to homeboy's mouth.
The movie starts and ends with two of the most hilarious, straight, they're not supposed to be funny. This is supposed to be serious. I cannot imagine at any moment in my life, if I watched that movie, that I wouldn't have thought that those two things were hilarious. Like, intentionally hilarious.
Well, and it is an Australian movie, I believe, which I think was probably just, pretty quickly probably caught American
George Miller,
distribution. Everybody on it seems to be Australian. It's in Australia. It's whatever. And that just does kind of strike you as something that's fun, funny.
That's what I'm saying. Those Australian guys, they're like,
be like, let's sneak this in, play it straight.
Who cares?
This is hilarious.
Who cares if this gets a line?
This is awesome.
Because it's like, it's something you wouldn't do. Number one, you don't, I wrote down, it's like, this is a Hereditary style child eating.
But
you never see a child harmed in a movie.
Right.
Like, that's what made Hereditary crazy, is when you see the little girl get her head fucking smashed. It's like, whoa.
Yep.
Children violence is unsettling.
And this one has children and dog violence. She accidentally kills her own dog. This is one of those times where you're screaming at the screen. Wait till he comes in the fucking room to shoot a harpoon.
It's definitely going to be the dog. It's not going to be Billy Zane.
She sees the blood drip and is like, oh, we're fine. And like an asshole, unlocks the door. Just stay there.
No.
And then, it's a terrible...
R.I.P. that little terrier.
I know. It's a terrible like a doll,
Yeah.
another doll,
Yeah.
a stuffed animal.
It's crazy. I mean, and you know what? That is what I liked about. That's what I like the most about this movie. Is that this movie is like, I mean, like we said, Breakdown scratches this same sort of itch. There's kind of a handful of these movies where it's like, oh no, my wife, and you know, I mean, I guess like Taken kind of scratches this itch to some degree.
Sometimes.
But it's like, oh, they've taken my wife, and I must go and save my wife, and then there's something happening to my wife.
He's
But-
trying not to do Borat so bad.
Yeah, I know.
My wife.
The thing that this movie did that I was like, fuck yeah, was show us killing a child, show us killing a dog, blow his head off with a flare. These are all things that you didn't have to do. They're all things that, in fact, probably make this movie worse. Like
To
in
a lot
terms,
of people, yeah.
for a lot of people.
For a lot of people.
But for me, I was like, yeah.
Well, if you
I like a movie that's
Yeah.
like doing stuff that I haven't seen.
if you yeet a kid, the same the same thing that happens in later on in Face Off, which is that
Oh,
the
yeah.
opening the cold open in Face Off is he sniper rifles John Travolta's kid in the head, and then like laughs, and then it just credits roll, and James Woo has
But that's what I'm saying. Face
Doves.
Off, like this. Now, Face Off isn't like this movie in any way, shape,
but
or
it
form.
sets the tone that like anything could happen. We've taken.
Exactly.
There's no rules left now. There's just three people out in the middle of the fucking ocean.
And
Why
we can
would
have fun. We can just have this be as violent as it needs to be, have this be as gratuitous as it needs to be,
Right.
have this be as almost scary as it needs to
Right.
be at times.
Yeah, it's
tense.
all. It's a ton of tension, and there's really not a ton of violence. It just the violence all has a punch.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of implied, like, oh shit, is she going to try to stab him with that knife when she's cutting lemons? Is he going to try to do something? For some reason, he has like that shark of glove
Yeah.
thing on, which is just a weird choice. There's just choices everywhere,
I'll say it again.
and it's fun.
And I've never felt this way. I loved Billy Zane in this movie. It
Shout out BZ.
It made me exactly like you said. I was like, God, somebody should have been like, Billy Zane, be weird. He needs to be skinny. Like, number
Right.
one, that's a big part of Billy Zane's problem is that he's big like a fucking hero actor.
Right.
He does steroids or whatever. I'm
And then
sure he
went-
doesn't anymore.
And then
but-
he went bald.
but then he went bald, right? But it's like when he was like thin, he's so unnerving because he is like way too expressive.
Right.
That's the problem I have with him in everything.
Yeah.
He's like way overacting, and
Right.
he's too much Billy Zane.
Yeah.
To be
He's too
like
zany, dude.
It's like Jeff Goldblum. Only Jeff Goldblum is this way in a way that is he can scale it back,
Yeah.
I guess. Or Bruce Campbell, like you get a lot of Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
When you do Bruce Campbell.
God damn it, Bruce Campbell was
And I love Bruce Campbell.
Zane's.
But these are all
character.
similar kinds of guys. I mean, Nicolas Cage is one of these guys.
Yeah,
Um,
100%. But
but in this movie in particular, as a villain, and as like a psycho villain, as like a
Right.
dumb, broken, fucked up young man,
Yeah.
he's perfect. I would have thought, give this guy, he could have been Norman Yates.
what?
Isn't that his name from
Bates.
Psycho? Bates? What did I say? Yates?
Yates.
You know what I mean. I'm high.
I mean what
Norman
you know.
Bates.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's that. Like he has
Yeah.
more versatility in this than I've ever seen.
Right. Well, yeah, there's something that only a handful of people have sort of tapped into, which is that this person doesn't really feel dangerous except for when they do.
Yeah.
Which is like it's creeping through, and then he full
feels like a
force
bully.
rips shorts in half. Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels sort of like a stunted,
Yeah.
weird, a guy who you'd have to yell at for like videotaping everyone in high school or something. You're like, and that's kind of the relationship he seems to have with the guy who like put out that creepy ad to get all the girls to come sail away with him or whatever. Who I
Right.
guess was maybe a wartime photographer, a documentarian. Is what he says,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
But again, you don't get a lot of.
you don't get a ton. You
You just kind of get the moments, which again,
Which I
if you
love.
haven't seen Breakdown,
yeah, that'd be a great double feature.
I mean-
if you got
Breakdown in this movie would actually make like a
pretty solid
Pretty
stuff.
solid double feature. This was
It's a weird Jurassic
This was a
Park.
weird double feature, and we'll have to be honest about it. I wouldn't recommend this as a double feature. I would say watch this movie, Dead Calm. Everybody's seen Jurassic Park. Watch Dead Calm and watch Possession, probably, if you wanted another Sam Neill one.
That you might not have seen.
That you might not
if you
have
haven't
seen.
seen In the Mouth of Madness, it does rule, but
I don't think it would be as good.
It wouldn't be
Possession
good.
would be a better.
Yeah, it's not
for
a good
this
double.
movie.
Yeah, Possession's for sure another psych thriller. And yeah, that would rule.
Possession is great. Possession is better than this movie, probably.
Hell yeah. Do
But-
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
This is a good one.
This was good. Yeah. What do you think score wise?
7-1. 7-2.
Okay. Yeah, I was right around 7.3. I think is what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
It's really fun. There's a lot of things to like about it. There's a lot of things to, whatever. I always say the baseline is like 7. So in order to get above that, you got to do something fun. And this movie is fun.
Yeah.
So this movie's pretty close. I mean, but there's not a huge gap between
Yeah.
this movie and Jurassic Park anymore.
Yeah, and if I watch, first watch. So if I watched it again next year, I could for sure see being like, actually, this is 7.5, or whatever.
Yeah.
It would tend up, I think, but on first watch, and having just watched it for the first time, I'm not obviously neither one of us are rearing to be like, let's put it in again.
No,
which would grant it a 9 or something. Yeah.
No, this will get on them. This will get on. I keep a big list of movies that I love.
Yeah.
Which, if you have to. I think I have 4 movies that I love that I personally rank a 6.
But that you love?
That I love.
In the 6s or
In the
flat
6s.
6?
In the 6s.
Interesting.
So the baseline is 7. So this will
Gotcha.
work its way into the movies I love.
I'm going a lot off of obviously rewatchability comes into play. And then recommendability, which is I'd have to know your taste to recommend this movie. I wouldn't just go around willy-nilly being like, hey, what's your favorite movie? And somebody's like, Iron Man 2. I'm not going to be like, oh, you should watch Dead Calm. You're going to love it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The intro to this kind of movie is Breakdown. I like Breakdown.
Right.
I think this movie and Breakdown, they're right there.
Yeah.
Breakdown is much more digestible. Breakdown has none of the unexpected, but way more tension.
For sure.
So Breakdown's cool. This movie's cool. Jurassic Park is great.
Yeah. All right, and there's only really 3 people in this movie, so we might as well.
Do you want to recast it?
Well, not,
Well, I would recast.
Not everybody.
Sam Neill is perfect in this movie.
But we did talk a little bit about. I mean, could you imagine Goldblum and Zane's?
Yeah, that
Spot.
would be a totally different movie.
That'd be a weird ass movie.
What's Kyle? Not from Dante's Peak. That's crazy. I'm pointing at Dante's
Kyle
Peak
MacLachlan?
like that's Kyle MacLachlan.
Kyle MacLachlan would be
Just thinking
interesting.
of a boy guy from.
Right.
That's funny. I thought that was Twin Peaks the whole time until I
Oh.
looked over there. And Dante's Peak is so great because I watched you put it up. I watched you do
Yeah.
that, and I was like, Twin Peaks, classic TJ. What a classic TJ move.
It's true. That
And
is
then
true.
just now went to reference
Yeah.
Twin Peaks and was like, yo, that's Dante's
That's
Peak. That's
Dante's
classic
Peak.
me, bro. Dante's Peak is me, bro. I love Dante's Peak. That's a classic.
That is a fun movie.
If you haven't seen Dante's Peak, bro.
Should we try to figure out our next double live?
Live?
Now? Yeah.
No, it takes too long.
Does take
We
too
sit around on the phone. But I think we should find a way to get to Robert Duvall probably since he died, and I think we should watch Days of Thunder. So Nicole Kidman could get us to Days of Thunder.
Is that a Bobby Duvall? Is he in it?
Yeah, he's the crew chief.
Fuck yeah, dude. And I still have yet to see Days of Thunder,
Yeah.
so that'll work great.
Nicole Kidman gets us to Days of Thunder, and we could do that and like The Prophet or The Apostle. Sorry, I'm too high. The Apostle's the one he directed.
Duvall did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
Yeah, that's and it's kind of like a Southern double feature.
Southern
That's
double
kind of
feature.
my thing.
And Days
dude.
of Thunder is Tony Scott, right?
Tony Scott.
Hell yeah, R.I.P. A lot of R.I.P.s.
Lot of
And
RIPs.
actually, just as a quick shout out, the Pigeon Lady from Home Alone 2, I believe, passed away today. So, another one.
Hopefully she didn't essay any kids or anything like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think let's do. I mean, who knows? I think probably at the end of the last episode, we probably did this too, and we were like, yeah, we'll do these two movies. And if you're just watching from one to the next, you're probably like, what the fuck? Why didn't they do
The thing they said.
Flatliners? And what was the movies we were trying to watch? Flatliners and
Conspiracy
Theory.
Which maybe we'll work our way back.
Which I think we recorded an episode, and it just got fucked up. So.
Oh, the SD card got weird or
Yeah.
something.
So who knows? The forces have been against us for double feature this whole time. Even our own forces were fighting about the final. Words spoken by David Attenborough in Jurassic Park.
Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. Pull up Jurassic Park. Put it in the comments. Anything you want to say about either one of these movies before we get out of here?
I don't think so. Good movies. Yeah, definitely a weird double
Good
feature.
movies, weird double feature. Do we have a name for the episode?
Ooh.
Nothing. We weren't really very funny. We did just talk about getting yeeted out of the car is hilarious.
Yeah.
We'll have to do something about yeeting Jurassic Park or something. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, there was something. There were a couple of things in there for sure that were fun. That could be fun names. And if you're watching this, you already know the answers. So this is pretty boring stuff. We'll figure it out. We love you long, John.
Bye.
Bye.